first, it's the Scotsman Aaron Debo in the SAT. In second, Aaron Cherbatov. And in third, it is the CTX of David Mazaros. Very close qualifying. The rest of the grid is Noah Bobby Lyons, F0 Lou, Yanni Kosteros, Twist, Speed G Master, and Cyril Packer runs out top 10. There is no formation. Drivers now finishing up their setups, selecting their tires, creating their strategies as we get ready to go racing in Brazil. We 35 to 36 laps around this 4.309 kilometer circuit. First appearing on the calendar in 1973 for the Formula 1 at least. Two DRSOs, one down the main straight and one down the back straight between turn 3 and 4. Just waiting on everyone to finalize their setups before we get racing. All the drivers take their time to get their setup. They get a good view of the grid because I took so long to announce it. This should be a good race. If you want to, you can message in chat who you want to win. See who's the most popular of the drivers. Alright, let's see. Will this be any better? Static, which shall we get rid of? Right. So, unfortunately, cannot get rid of static. Do apologize for any mic issues throughout the race. I am trying to resolve it, it's just the new mic's not the greatest. We have 5 red lights lit up above the grid. It's lights on, away we go. Good start from the SAT of Aaron Debo. Down towards turn 1. doing his teammate clips, he's going to come round and all that to spin. That's bloody hell is up to. And F1 and F it loses 10th position to R2 chicane. Back up from the field, Anton, the only is going to approach, and slight mistake then, gap closing more and more, get DRS. first pit. Oh, everybody is pitting now. With Yanni Gazari getting a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Sure, penalty so far. It's just Yanni Gazari who has a 10-second penalty, which will not be served this lap, but served next lap. Back half the grid have pitted down. With Clipsy and Jack Morgan both having to make multiple pit stops so far. Both on two. And Boyton gets ahead of Clipsy. Who have stopped earlier now ahead of those who have stopped later. Current top 3, the CTX of David Mizaros, followed by the F1 of RBT and the VE of Twist. However, the top 3 are yet to pit currently. If odds to stay the same, Sierra Alpaca and the TDR will be ahead. Will they pit this lap or will they pit next is the question being asked. Sierra Alpaca closing in on Twist, who has pitted. Sierra Alpaca has pitted 6 tenths now between 5 tenths. Jibo not holding back in that FCT, wanting first place back, opens the DRS wide. Down the main straight we go. Let's go on board with the FCT, who makes easy work of the FST. The car rotary. Aaron Jibo back in the lead. With FST Jack Maloney behind him, followed by Aaron Jibo's FCT teammate, Yanni Casares. Drivers with 10-second penalties, all of which are for speeding equipment, is the FCT of Yanni Casara, UNV of Anton Shabatarov, the CTX of David Zahar, UFRT Petri, who's done 7th, 10th as well, with the twist having a 10-second time penalty that is yet to be served, as well as 13th and 14th seeing back at weight times respectively, both with 10-second time penalties for speeding in the pit lane. Try closing the gap. I'm not sure if you can. So on by Yanni Casares on the trot. ONB gets up into 3rd at turn 1, making sure the SCT can't keep up closing the gap. Now, however, the SCT has the DRS and will easily get past the ONB. It's a dangerous game when you overtake at turn 1. It's easy to overtake down to turn 3 after the back straight. The gap between first and second now, 2 seconds. Here is David Mazaros in the CTX trying to make a move on the Or just stay close at least, seeing if he can capitalize on a mistake from Anton Shabatarov. Do apologise for any of the mistakes in his broadcast. Should have said that at the start. Mind you, this is EFES. This is season 2, season 1 runs out for the F1 division, and it is Brazil. We had some minor technical issues with Twitch earlier on, and so we did miss a bit of qualifying. Qualifying had Aaron Jibo in 1st, he was at ONB in 2nd, and in 3rd it was the CTX of David Mazaros. FST Jack Maloney, the FST of Jack Maloney now dropping far down the grid, as now he's in a battle against Petri. Is he going to leave racing room? Yes, he is, and Petri will take it back and let him get past. Noah close to the FCR of Lou in front of him. Almost be love tap behind from the CEO of Twist. V of Twist, sorry. 3-second gap between Aaron Jibo and Yanni Casares, as Lou does eventually get past Jack Maloney after a little bit of effort from the FCR driver. Maloney's just pulled over to the side, letting everybody past him. Now got the V of Twist by him, who does have a 10-second time penalty. Oh, that is a double overtake. Speed G Master and Twist do both crawl past the FST of Maloney without much issues. Next catch up to Maloney will be Joanne, who is being closely tailed by Sierra Packer in the TDR. However, the gap at the front, almost 4 seconds. However, it wasn't just the racing. Slightly second to fourth all have 10-second time penalties, which means they will drop a further 10 seconds back. Seeing Alpaca trying to make a move on F1 Drem, side by side as they go into the back straight. Seeing Alpaca using a bit of ERS and DRS to get past, eventually getting ahead of the Ferrari liveried car. Seeing Alpaca spun, and eventually giving the position back by the looks of things. And Seeing Alpaca is now dead last. 2 DNFs in the race so far. Clipsy retired, a couple laps to go, and Christoph DNF'd at the start of the race in lap 1, causing a safety car after a collision with Speed's G-Master, who's in the OMB. Seems SET have this race on lockdown with a 1-2 at the front of the group at the very, very top. However, Anton only Anton and the CTX of David both wanted to try and take advantage of this DRS and ERS and overtake the SET. And David was looking down the inside lap, eventually decided not to make a move on the Anton. Jeboto. RG really running the race, and there is a 3-second time penalty for UFIT. Actually, who has a 13-second penalty overall. Will these drivers hit and get rid of their penalty, or will they just see it out? There is 13 laps left in this race. It's lap 24 of 36 here in Brazil for EFES round 7 for the F1 division. As the majority of the drivers make their way around these Senesses, we have 2 cars a bit further back, that being Maloney and unfortunately Seeing Alpaca's back there as well, after an unfortunate spin and what seems to be a little trip to the pits to get rid of his 10-second time penalty. Currently 33.7 seconds back on his best time around the circuit. The gap at the front field is now over 4 seconds, which is the longest it has been at all in this race. Don't be surprised that the R09 does end up overtaking Seeing Alpaca. However, that would be highly unfortunate. That would be highly unfortunate for Seeing Alpaca, who is a very talented driver. We don't want anyone being lapped, because that's not fun being at the back. The unbeaten G-Master does end up getting past the of Twist. However, Twist is going to put up a fight for position here, with Twist being the one with DRS. They both have DRS. Who's got the better ERS usage? Speed G-Master defending while not letting Twist get past, and Maloney has now set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix with a 1-minute 7-second lap. 11 laps remaining. Can he catch up to Jerem, who is in 12th in F1AF? Multiple drivers pitting to get rid of their 10-second time penalties. However, the SET of Casares, the OMB Chibotto, and the CTX of Mizares opted not to at this moment in the race, opting to possibly add on at the end, which could mean they could drop so far down that they could be out of the points. However, we will have to wait and see. Maloney his gap to will only be 20 seconds. There's a move here. Zaros getting ahead of Jagotarov. I think at one point I did see an Aston Martin that was ghosted. Arjibo running away with this race, however, with a 3.8 second lead as it stands, with a good chunk of those still have to go, yes, however, that's one enormous task for Yanni Cazares, who's overtake his SET teammate and then get a 10-second gap if he wants to win. And with so few laps left in the race and how talented that's a 3-second time bonus from one for Williams for the CTX of David Cazares. However, back to Cazares, who needs to get a significant distance on his SET teammate with how fast Arjibo is. I just don't see that happening, unfortunately. However, we are in the world of racing, and that anything can happen to these talented drivers. Only at the back, so taking time down between him and Drem, finishing at around 14 seconds. EFRT, Passion, closing the gap to Bobby Lyons ahead of him. However, there's too much of a gap to make a move down this happen. Do apologise for my quite late here, but I don't mean that whatever. It's been 12-13 hours. However, that doesn't even matter. What matters is a race winner, a 7 laps winner in this Grand Prix. And the gap between Cazares and Gibo at the front is coming down quite a lot. The F1 of Noah is closing the gap. As is Twist, who is trying to close in on the ONV of Speed G-Master, who is just ahead of him. We got one huge DRS drain from the back of what seems to be only Jagotarov all the way back to Twist in the VE. It looks like ONV of Anton is going to try and make a move on with David Cazares. Go forward with the ONV driver. CTX has the deep inside covered and will hold position for a little bit longer. Bobby Lyons looking up the inside, not being able to make a move just there. However, he is pressing a Twist and Speed G-Master side by side. Oh, and that's a spin from Twist. Speed G-Master managing to get ahead, but just barely. That has now ended that DRS stream for good. Gap now forming. Here they come, along the main straight. The two SETs having a huge gap on the drivers ahead. Current top 3 is the SET, Arjibo and Yanni Cazares in top 2, front row. Neither one of them is in pole, would be Arjibo. Looks like Cazares ended. Twist, overtaking Wojtas, who got ahead of him at one point. Wojtas now going to try to go down the inside. He will be able to do that without issue. EFES this time round. With a 10, Voitas gets past Speed Master, who has a little bit of a track record so far, with Speed Master being involved in multiple collisions and somehow not getting a penalty. Guessing they've been chalked up to racing incidents. However, they will be looked at post-race by the FIA for EFES. 1 lap. 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 of the day goes to Wojtas, who also gets the most overtakes. Winner being R07 fast lap going to FS team Jack Maloney. Clearest driver being Bobby Lyons, who is in the VE. Here's the full standings. R07 first and second, Bobby Lyons in third, Yannick Asaris in fourth,